The third story, the reason why I saved this last because
we're about to get into NXT.
It's about to get into NXT,
but
it's also having bad implications.
I know this.
So Jeff Hardy and Karrion Kross had a match, and Jeff Hardy beat Karrion Kross with the most devastating finisher, assisted by the middle rope in wrestling. He beat Karrion
Jeff
Kross
Hardy
with
cheated?
a roll-up, and he beat Karrion Kross with a roll-up in under 2 minutes.
What?
It was like a minute and 40-something seconds or 50-something seconds, but it was under 2 minutes.
Okay, you told us that he beat Cross. You didn't tell me that he beat him in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was under 2 minutes. Now,
what?
Now, this is
his debut match on Raw, right?
His debut match on Raw.
Oh.
Now, this story is going to splinter into two different things. So, ride with me here. So, we're going to take Splinter A over here.
Okay.
So, now, if y'all watch NXT, they did say the next 2 episodes will be on Sci-Fi because of the Olympics.
Yes.
And they're pre-taped.
Are they? Oh, okay. Okay.
So I did unfortunately see a slight spoiler for next week. I won't spoil it for everybody here, but I did see a slight spoiler for next week. If y'all two want to know, I'll let y'all know later. But one of the things that came out from the pre-tape was it was a Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe segment, and the fans completely hijacked it by chanting Hardy.
Yeah, that part where they had they had
to refilm it and basically made the crowd kind of chill out so they could refilm the segment without them hijacking it.
They lied to the fans by telling them they were going to get something there's something special was going to happen at the end.
But it was a reshoot of the scene.
They started chanting the name of whoever won, is what you're saying?
Hardy. No. They were chanting Hardy's name.
Oh. That's kind of funny.
And what they told the crowd was, stick around. We have something special for y'all. And the something special was them refilming the scene. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's not exactly special.
I guess question A, or the big question is, you had this man booked for nearly 2 years as this unstoppable force. In his first night on the main roster, he loses to Jeff Hardy by the most devastating finisher in wrestling history. How can he come back from this? Because there's been some people saying he can come back from this, but there's been other people saying we don't know.
Well, it sucks to put a steep incline for somebody's debut, but anybody can come out of anything, given the circumstances. Now with this, what I have heard is that this is supposed to be a setup for something that they're going with down the line. So if that's the case, cool. I'm not gonna shit on it too much. But it's this loss thing. It's this loss thing because again, I would have rather them have taken the title off of him and then had him go to Raw with a clean slate and then lose as a Raw superstar rather than the NXT champion, the undefeated NXT champion. See, now of course, we'll get into it when we talk about NXT, but they fixed the part about him going to Raw. Like I like how they handled that. That was cool.
What was their reasoning for him at Raw?
Joe had said to Regal, "Do you know that your champion had a little side project on Raw?" Yeah, I bet you didn't know that because he's out of control.
Yeah, and then Cross had said his thing. Yeah, we're gonna get into. We're gonna cover it. But yeah, so I mean, them covering that part up is cool. The loss to Jeff doesn't hurt him. It's the way it's the way he lost and how quickly he lost. He didn't really showcase anything. And I think
didn't. It wasn't much to that match at all.
Yeah, and they would have benefited more by having him build up like Lesnar, like how Lesnar was built up when he first came in, where Lesnar was completely just unstoppable. He was just he was taking out everybody. Hell, and it's funny that we have Jeff Hardy and Cross, and we're talking about Brock Lesnar because Jeff Hardy was a casualty of Brock when he came in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just main roster is fucking weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man, fuck all this shit. No, not like to that degree, but like, no, you have this dominant, unstoppable, out of control force, and you let them like step into Raw and get swept up, not even by like Lashley or Sheamus or somebody, but like this is no disrespect to him, but Jeff Hardy, who's been, I guess, just adrift throughout the roster.
Mm-hmm.
He's been losing.
He's been losing.
And he finally got his old music back that people have been wanting for the time. And the night he debuts it back, he gets the big victory over Cross.
Yeah, I mean, cool for your music coming back, but no, you should not have gotten that W over Cross. Like, sorry to say it, but like Ricochet or Morrison or somebody, but you don't do that to a reigning NXT champion.
Now, wait. I'm glad you said that, Jaeger. Because this will splinter off into the main story and the main news I want to bring up.
Hit it.
Sources say that the higher ups, the people that matter, officially view NXT as developmental, not a third brand.
Fuck all that.
So
it is the better brand right now.
So with that being said, now that you said that he beat the NXT champion, he beat a developmental guy, apparently.
Well, this is where the continuity is thrown out the fucking window. Because once, and this is why a lot of people say everything that was done was because of AEW, which this right here is very telling because of the fact that during that year when Dynamite had its inception, that Survivor Series included NXT as a third brand.
Well, obviously they was lying to trips.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that's a problem because you've been on that whole year. You've told the fans that they're on this level here. So now what does that say to a Finn Balor who goes over there? What does that say to all the trades that you made to go back there? You know, are you saying that that Mandy Rose needs more training, that she needs to go back down? Are you saying that Finn needed more training to go back down? Are you saying Joe?
How dare they?
Well, I mean, they fired Joe, but you know.
Are you saying Ember? Brazongo when they went before they got fired? Drake Maverick? You know, are you saying all of these people, you know, needed more seasoning or something? Like what are you saying? They needed more time in the oven? Like, what you trying to say here?
How did that news come out? Was it like a press release or like a little article?
I don't know if it was a press release. It was a story, and apparently they say sources saying that NXT is seen as developmental rather than a third brand.
What?
But they also made mentions of it too, because apparently when Charlotte and Rhea had their rematch, Charlotte was announced as an 11-time champion. And they even broke it down. She was the last Divas champion. She is a 5-time Raw champion. She is a 5-time SmackDown champion. They did not mention the fact that she won the NXT title twice.
So she's not
including the fact that she won it last year.
Well, that keeps her further away from getting to the magical 16, then sure. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
But they can kiss my whole asshole about not counting an NXT belt.
Well, it's bittersweet because I mean I hate that they said that, but I'm also glad that they said it because you know the fans are going to get behind NXT even more now because they already know like what's up. Because what's going to happen is because it's trending that way as it is. And before I even get into this, for those of you who are watching this to see what we're going to say about Punk and Daniel Bryan's situation, let me just let you know right now. If you're waiting for that, don't, because that's going to be on the AEW recap when we get to that. So if you're watching this video for that, go watch the AEW recap.
Yeah, watch that one. Yeah.
But the thing is, the fans are going to get behind NXT even more now with what I with what I just stated previously, that situation, because AEW is about to get so much fucking exposure with what's going to happen within the next few months, because AEW was already trending when they beat Raw on certain demographics, ratings wise. So the more that the main roster sabotages themselves, the more AEW is going to start being a credible competitor for both Raw and SmackDown. And with those fans still veering towards NXT, that's going to boost NXT's ratings, because we already know with especially with this, if Triple H clearly is hearing that his shit is not a third brand, he's going to do everything in his power to be like, hey, fuck you, I'm about to make the most of this. So
as well he should.
Yeah,
as well he should.
So yeah.
Fuck you to Triple H to tell him that, oh yeah, hey, this project you've been working on isn't really another brand, it's just developmental.
And excuse me. And it still would have been fine to even be a third brand and be developmental at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the implication is already implied that these guys want to graduate from NXT to Raw or SmackDown.
Yes.
So to just make it seem like, because who else would have fucking developmental on national TV?
Absolutely.
I feel like AEW is going to get there with Rampage, but we got to see what the hell that's going to be about.
True.
But I mean, but Scoot's right though, because if you think about previous developmentals, you think about OVW, you think about FCW, none of those were on syndicated television at all. And even with NXT, when it was on the WWE network, yeah, you can say that it was developmental. 1 hour of TV on the only network, that's it. But again, another AEW situation. They bumped it to 2 hours and moved it to the USA network. Why? Because the shit generates numbers. And most people would rather watch NXT than watch the main roster. So